This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
Holistic and self-improvement radio. And today I thought we'd talk about a couple of things, as well as I invite you to be able to call into the show for a ethical, free psychic radio reading with me and Joseph if he turns up here today. Today, though, I would like to go over the rules that I abide by at all times, whether people come to my radio show at Achieve Radio, or whether they come to me for a private reading at thecallingoflight.com. Now, what are the ethical psychic reading and holistic healing code rules? Well, I'll tell you, first of all, even if you're a certified reader, that doesn't always mean that you will abide in an ethical way. Therefore, if you want to be an ethical reader and go by the ethical reading rules, here they are. 1, I will not judge you, dependent upon your religion, race, belief system, or political party. And that's important because you're already screwed if you are with someone that's prejudicing against you. I will not do that, and the ethical psychic reading code says that is not allowed.
Good.
2, I will be truthful but tactful. What does that mean? It means that no matter what I see, I will tell you, but I will tell you in the most compassionate way possible, because that is part of being a spiritual diplomat. It is the ability to say harsh things in soft ways. And I will also tell you I am a certified transpersonal hypnotherapist, which showed and taught me the way to use wordage and rhythm in the way that I speak so that I can deliver my message to you in the most clear and the most compassionate way. 3, I will not sugarcoat the truth to keep you coming back. I will tell you the good with the bad. Now, understand that being a truthful reader does not mean that you have to be cruel or that you have to say harsh things in a hurtful way. It means that if you see something, you say it. But there are certain things that does not include. For instance, I never give death readings. I never try to give medical advice. And I never give lotto numbers. So those are 3 things that maybe the less ethical readers find okay. But in my opinion, no matter what the disease, no matter what the circumstances may be, we all check out of Earth in our own time. And there is no way that any psychic reader should or can tell you when you're going to die, which is why I am so against when Yahoo and Google were posting things like, see, when you're going to die. Why would you do that? Because once that seed is planted,
really.
then
about that.
it would seem almost as if you create that time to happen. All right. So, 4, I will help form your questions when you are having trouble asking what you feel. Sometimes, when in the overwhelmment of getting a reading, a lot of people will be like, I was going to ask you about something, but, and it's about this guy. And I'll say, what is that person's name? So the question that I feel that you are asking me, I will say and ask your permission if that is the way that you want me to read it. So I'm sure that I am asking it in the most appropriate way. I will ask you, is that the question? And I also want to say, Joseph, are you there yet? Nope, Joseph's not there
Oh,
yet.
yes, I'm here.
You're here, but you're by sound today, huh?
I'm only here by sound. I'm sorry. My Skype is not working.
Oh,
They,
darn.
yeah,
Well, your
I was all
sound
set to
actually
sign
very
on,
good.
and all of a sudden they go, oh, they pulled this on me before, and I was able to work around it, but now I can't, so I'm kind of screwed for now.
So have you been listening to Ethical Psychic Reading Code?
Yes, I have. I have been listening to your list and I agree with that, and I had seen it before on your page. I have something similar to that. It's very much like that. I really have a problem with those death predictions that you see on on some of these sites. They have these find out when you're going to die. I really have a problem with that.
Why would anyone want to know?
Or the thing is, everything keeps changing, for one thing. But
right.
So that's impossible to do, really, because that is somebody's end is their own thing. That's their. But the problem I have with it is that it could put it psychologically plays on people. You could put that seed in somebody's brain.
Exactly.
And it could stay there, and then they do what they call a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Even if they deny it, even if they go,
it's still there.
That's
just it. It's still there. It's a terrible thing to do to somebody. It's really nasty, and I don't like that. I don't like these sites because people. I don't know why anyone would want to know, but I guess people sometimes get into a mood, or they're feeling dark or something, or it's a game. Let's check it out. Let's see what they say. But the thing is, that stays in your brain pretty much, and I have a problem with it. I don't like it, and I won't answer questions like that because I can't. It's impossible. Really, I cannot tell you when you're going to die. That's just insane.
So how about helping people form their questions when they're having trouble asking them?
Well, usually sometimes I just ask if they want to do a cold reading. I just do a reading, just a basic reading,
But I mean, if someone is asking you a question, but they're having trouble saying it, one of the codes is I will help form your questions when you are having trouble asking what you feel. Sometimes people get overwhelmed in the moment, and that they sometimes have a hard time communicating what they're asking, especially if it's like it's like
that's almost like when you have to rephrase a question as a moderator. I mean, you try to is this what you're asking? Is this let's narrow this down. So this is the gist, and because a lot of times it's a lot of embroidery to get to that main question.
That's a nice way to put it.
I always tell people there are things that I don't have to know.
And that leads me to the next question.
In order for me to do this, yes, don't tell me too much because I don't need to know that.
And that leads me to the next rule, which is I will admit when I'm over my head and refer you to qualified sources. I sometimes think that it's a good idea to have a little list next to you if you're giving readings, especially if you're with someone that's in complete chaos and stress. When you're realizing that what they're wanting is a psychoanalyst and not a reader, you have to let them know the suicide
Or at
line
least
they can go to,
have a
or
crisis line. Yeah, have a
a
crisis line
crisis
number
line.
handy. Or
Yes, because
yeah,
psychics are not made to be a crisis line. There are
right.
many that will help you, but I have read for suicidal people on the line, or read for people that were in one of those moods you were talking about.
Uh huh.
And no matter what you say, it's they hate it.
Well, you're
It's
not
poison.
trained in that. We're not trained to. We're not psychologists, and we're not crisis workers. Um,
And the worst,
we don't know the key. We don't know how to. We don't have that training. And even if we did, even if say, oh, you had a PhD in psychology, and say you did practice on the
mhm,
side, you had to practice. So this is what you did also.
mhm.
Unless they're a patient of yours, you can't really do anything really like that. You can probably guide them better. You're probably better equipped, but actually, you're not really licensed to deal with
I,
that.
I think that
I
that's what
don't
the
know.
new I think that new
Yeah,
certified life coaches are being trained in
right,
what they can do for people like that.
right. I
But
think there is a caution to, like, say, giving advice, giving psychological advice to someone that you've never even seen or met.
yes,
It's sort of like,
right.
well, you really
And a
can't.
lot of and a lot and a lot of those therapeutic, psychological
Hmm.
sessions depend on someone coming back so that you can go the next stage and the next stage and the next stage. That's why it's important they go to a professional, because first of all, if they're on a psychic line or they're paying for a psychic reading, you have exactly the paid for amount of time to heal them, which is not what we are
Hmm.
made for. And it's
No,
much better to refer people like that to a professional. The other thing
I've
is people
always
that,
seen it as an enlightenment, entertainment,
yeah,
also, and
yeah,
also it's not. It is. I've always seen it as there are times when you need to hear somebody else give you some insight regarding some matter, but you should have no, it's like if you have a serious matter in your life going on, you should have the right professionals dealing with it. But I could understand how you go, yeah, I just need to talk. I need to talk to somebody. Do me a reading on this, and just
mhm,
tell me what you
listen,
see. Some
yeah,
people do that, where it's just like, okay, they're handling everything the way they're supposed to be. They have gotten the right people, but sometimes they just need to hear what the card reading is for this, you know.
right, right.
And I have been in situations like that where, it's just like I know that there were things I had to do and I did them, but it was a bothersome thing and it wasn't giving me any peace of mind.
Mhm,
And I wanted to know what somebody else thought. And so that's why, and of
mhm.
course, reading my own cards doesn't help, because
No,
that
because
doesn't
you're
help.
too full of inner clutter.
Right. So that's
You've
why
got,
that's why,
yeah.
and I have called. In fact, I've even called you. I have called you, and actually, the I've always I've always felt so much better after talking really to anybody,
Hmm.
who did a good reading, who can do it right, who knows this thing and knows how to read the cards and knows how to interpret it without getting too involved, you know. And
I do want to say hello to Patrick
yeah,
and Rebecca and
hi
Lena
Patrick and Rebecca and Nina.
and also Diana and
Hi
also
Diana.
Zodi from Pennsylvania that is in our call room. So I do want to
Wow.
say hello to them, and then I do want to finish the ethics code thing.
Oh, please,
And
please go
the
on. I just
other
want to let
thing
you know I was here.
that the other thing it says, I am not a fortune teller. All readings
Oh
will
yeah.
fit within a 12-month time frame. That is very important to me because I always tell people that get a preconceived idea that it goes along with death predictions, that a psychic is about long-term forecasting, and the problem is it puts people's lives on hold. If there's a prediction that, oh, so and so is going to come back, don't worry.
Right.
Whereas I will tell people, please don't put your life on hold. Remember that many things can happen in a year's time, depending on you, your actions, and your guidance from God. So understand that in that idea of all things are changeable, in a year's time, you have so many changes that can happen, and you are the creator of your life.
Oh,
So,
I've always encouraged people to see their life as an equation, and really, because you change any one thing, just one small thing, and you can change everything. You can change.
And that's what a good reading
Right.
should show, is where
Right.
you can, the strategies that you can use to be able to change your life for the better fulfillment.
Hmm. Do you ever
The
have
other one.
somebody that? Oh, I'm sorry. Go on. You
No,
not
no,
done
go
yet?
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Did you ever have? I've made the mistake of a few times of reading for a friend or two who asked me to do this, and I should have known better because one in particular always argued with me about what the cards meant and what it meant to his situation.
Mm-hmm.
And he was always
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of bothered him that I was right. Because, like, oh my God, he could really do that. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
well, no, I know how to read them, and I've been reading these for a while here, and then somebody who doesn't read them tells me, no, that's not right, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Well,
Especially somebody
again,
that you know. Now, this was a stranger. I really couldn't argue that fact. Okay, but this is somebody that I know, and I know what their issues were. So it's like, no, you're not fooling me here. I'm not. Okay,
uh-huh.
I know you. See, this is.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's why I try to avoid reading for good friends. And also I always
Yeah.
feel like I'm supposed to give free readings. This is my job, and there are
I
friends
give
who
them free
will
here.
take advantage of that. Not very often, but anymore. Anymore, my friends know that I would pay them to make me an artistic project, and
Right.
yes, I'm a intuitive, but that doesn't mean because what I give you is not something that I can hold in my hands, it is still
Right.
worth paying me for. You know what I'm saying? There,
Oh,
um,
exactly.
there are people. What is that
And you're the
called?
one that's doing that. Yeah.
A reading is a service, whereas a creative project is something you can see and take home. But they call that, what is that? Tactile or no? When something is something you can hold, and
It's an
another is,
intangible.
I
Okay,
I
there's
had it
intangibles and intangibles.
tangible,
You know.
right? And
You see,
that's
that's why
something.
that's
Hmm.
why I don't predict lotto numbers because I can't
Oh
hold a number. I can't
no,
sense a
I'm
number. I can't see a number is not real. It's just a concept. So I can't predict them because they don't exist really.
right.
It's a concept. It would have to be
And
associated with something that is a sensory item for me in order to make that prediction. That's why I don't do those. Because if I could, I'd be
and I,
rich right
right.
now.
I had somebody that was once told me that I could no longer participate in an art fair that I used to be very popular at. And they said, well, Anne, we just now want tangible things, things that people can take home. But on the other hand, they had an orchestra playing
You
that
can't
was
take home
only
that.
something that people could listen to. So I said, well, that's
Right.
interesting, because do you think those people can take that music home with them that you have put on the stage?
Yeah, you
You
give them
know,
CDs.
yeah. So anyway,
Handing out the music. No, that's
yeah.
true, though. You have a point. And the thing is, you are also doing a performance as well. It is an art. It is something, like some people might be really good, but they do it very badly in their presentation. And
Right.
it takes practice, and it takes an art, and it takes a skill. And also the thing is that you try to make it entertaining, especially if you're in an art setting like that. You try to be more you are becoming more, you got gussied up for the occasion, let's put it that
You're
way.
gussied up.
Getting there.
I like your
Right,
words.
the
What was
thing
the
is,
other word you used? Kiddo. Kiddo and gussied up.
gussied up.
Okay, it says the other rule is I will not play God and predict death or lifespan, which we already spoke on. The next rule is I am an intuitive spiritual guide, but will not encourage you to be dependent on me. I cannot count how many times I've heard people say that professional readers will call them and say, "Are you ready for a reading yet?" Almost as if they are a salesman asking you to on your phone to convince you
Oh
to take their
yeah.
service. And I'm like, "What? How
Oh
can
my
people
God, I'd
do
be
that?"
horrified. I mean, someone might say, "Just quit bothering me, Joe."
I know. So it's like, yeah, I would just be appalled if I tried to convince somebody that they had to, cold sold my readings. But I've often wanted to say that to people that wanted to sell me stuff on the phone. Well, sure, I'll trade a reading for it. They would run away in shock. The
Oh
other
yeah,
thing,
definitely.
the last one is your path with God is your own, which again means we cannot tell you what to do. We can tell you what we see. And therefore, because we tell you what we see, it is based on the fact that you are always the creator of your life. So, Don, any words on that before we start taking readings?
Well, first of all, I agree with you, and I think on mine I added I'm not a witch, I don't cast spells.
Yeah, I've had people that
And
wanted
I
that
can't
too.
read your mind. I don't read minds. Don't ask me to
Right.
read somebody's mind because I can't do that, and that's a door I don't want to open anyway. So it's bad enough sometimes things slip in, on their own, but I don't try to do that on purpose. And that's about it, really. But I agree with you. And the path with God, I agree with. We all have our own, and I think some people who say that they don't, I think at the very most I would encourage them to look inside themselves and actually really, they must feel some connection, but that's not my business anyway. That's their own thing, and I don't really encourage anyone to believe anything. I could understand why they wouldn't believe anything. I can understand why they would, because I was raised in a religion.
Right. Yes. So where we are
But
taught
I
to
mean,
believe in
I could
something,
understand
right?
all of that, but it's not my place to tell them. I really do think that they are on their own road with that, and it is important that they make their own discovery and have their own, their own knowledge come to them. Because it might be that's the way it's supposed to be for them.
So why am I
soul.
discussing that today? Because in two fields,
Yeah, what
both
happened that brought this up?
psychic reading, mediumship, and holistic healing, it is imperative that there be some basic code of ethics to go by, because we have it for our food, we have it for churches, we have it for law and order, but there's very few rules for uh, divination and holistic healing. And so that's why today I wanted to discuss that, because, and please again remember, being a certified reader, just like a lawyer with a plaque on the back of his desk, does not always mean that he will work in an ethical way. So when
Right.
you are speaking to somebody that is going by ethical code in healing and reading, that means that they are reading and for you in a compassionate way that is for the better good.
All right.
Okay, so let's go to our room, and the first thing I want to do is go to Zodi from Pennsylvania. Hey, Zodi, what's going on? Zodi,
Hello.
are you there?
Zodi.
Well,
Did we
Zodi
bore
isn't.
Zodi? Oh
Zodi
dear.
may have decided to take a quick trip to the kitchen or something.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to Zodi in a little bit. We'll start out with
Okay.
Patrick. And Patrick says, "Hi, Anne Marie and Joseph.
Hi,
Can I
Patrick.
please have a financial reading? Patrick always wants his financial reading. Have you noticed that?
Okay.
So, you want to go with that
Yeah,
then?
I'm shuffling and I'm cutting and I'm laying out my cards.
Okay.
I'm doing that with a phone tucked under my ear, so it's not as fun as
That's tricky.
Yeah, because I don't have that headset that I used to have a long time ago. Well, I am seeing in the past that he had a major turning point, and at some point, and this is a recent past, or it's still there, and I do see that he got money out of nowhere, so, so to speak, like perhaps an inheritance, and and I do think that there was some profit, like some things. He didn't get all of it, but he got, and it also appeared like he was being encouraged to do some low risk investments because of it. No, I don't know where the money came from. It just seemed to be something either that a seed that he planted years ago, or something that he got, and or won, for all I know. I do see at the current time that there is he does know somebody who's a man who's somewhat sophisticated but somewhat of a smooth talker. But this is also somebody who is generous, and also somebody who has philanthropy. What's that when you give to charities? Philanthropy.
Philanthropy?
Yes, somebody who is involved. Somebody he knows somebody who can give him good advice, and he knows somebody currently who this guy that he knows is somebody who is successful and hardworking. So he does have something to show for what he says, which is a good thing. And this is somebody that is helpful, and I do see that he does also chase the trappings of success. Like if he can do it, he does have a nice car to show for it. Like nice things. I do see that in his current. I don't know why this person showed up, but I do see that he might be helpful. He also might help you spend your money too. And that's the other thing you have to think about. Now, I do see that in the long run, and I'm looking at 21 days. The world, looking at the world, really. And that's what you have ahead of you here, is that you're going to enter a time where you're going to be really happy and with a lot of positive events coming your way. It seems like you're on a good luck streak here, and I do see that your finances, if there are problems and decisions, I'm seeing that they're all going to fall into place, and that you're going to get your goals. I'm seeing more money even coming your way. I do see some profit coming from your investments, if you've made any. I do see that you're going to be feeling very, very fortunate, and I see you even deciding to help others who are less fortunate. Because of your good fortune, you're going to feel, you're also going to have knowledge to help them a little bit. I do see you doing that. I do see that.
I would confirm what you're saying, because
I do see him getting back from what he gave, and I do see him also giving again, and I just see this wonderful thing just keep happening, which is great. That's what I see.
I see wonderful things as well, because it shows this is the month of good fortune. It's as if now the gate has come down on some of those bad times, or maybe it's come up from those bad times.
Nice,
and Patrick, it shows now you're on a streak in 2018, or finishing 2017, of good fortune, which indicates better opportunities. You're more believable. People believe in you more, and there seems to be doors opening. And it says you're accepting more gratitude, and people are giving you gratitude back. So 2018 looks like or at least the coming 6 months, it looks like a great time for you, for finances, for having people believe in you, and for showing you more gratitude. And all of that is really important to have good business.
What do you think about the King of Pentacles? I saw in the present time that this acquaintance that is
Well, that could
very,
mean him too. It could
that
mean
could
that
be him becoming a
he is
very successful type.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's on
yeah,
his throne. He's on a
yeah.
high wave of being
Yeah.
financially more um, happy and more in
It does,
control.
actually, it does. His existence does seem rather kingly at this time, and will get more
Hmm.
so. It is really
We're gonna go to
interesting.
Zodi, and she's on. She's
Okay.
back.
Good luck,
Hi, Zodi.
Patrick.
How are you?
Zodi.
Hello, Zodi.
Zodi.
It says she's back, but the name is actually Zoe. Hey, Zoe.
Oh, Zoe.
Zoe. Zoe.
You can't
How are
hear
you,
me?
Zoe?
Zoe.
Yes, I
Zoe.
can. How are you, babe?
Hi,
Oh,
Zoe.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We kept
Okay.
calling you, but you must have been off and doing something.
Yeah, I was there. I guess
Yeah.
the connection wasn't good. So I'm thinking
Oh.
of starting an Etsy shop with some jewelry and stones. And I'm wondering if this would be a good stepping stone for me.
Okay.
What
I'm
sort
going
of
to
a
do the
shop
next
with
one.
stones?
Etsy. Etsy. I have an Etsy shop too, and I have to say that my Etsy shop would be a disaster if I didn't have something else on the side. Um, because they do ask for quite a bit of money. For every click that you get, it costs a huge amount of money. And so, in
Oh.
order to be seen at Etsy, you have to be able to have quite a bit of money for marketing. If I look
Right.
at how will you do? Because once you start getting reviews, then things doors start opening. But again, in order to be seen, you have to be out there and be seen with all the other folks that are in your field. Here's what it says: the first 4 months are not real positive, but then it opens up as you become more grounded in your appearance and begin to be more seen. And my feeling is that I'm going to say that it'll take about, and please know I want to be positive and truthful with you. I'm showing it could take December, January, February, March, April, May, June, almost up until July before you start beginning to see more steady business. And that's what comes up for me. Etsy is a great place. Their marketing and their search engine marketing is getting better. But again, you have to follow the rules. Did you take the Etsy website as well?
I didn't yet. I haven't started anything yet.
Yeah, I was doing the Etsy website, but was not really enjoying the fact that I had to pay both Etsy marketing as well as for the Etsy site. I think
Right.
the people that are there are well acclimated and they've been there a while, and you want to get established with them. But then again, people are very competitive. So you have to keep current with everything that you see selling big time on there. And once you do, and you see what people are buying, then you can make sure that you have the same thing to offer. Again, July is when I see that things start to bloom. What do you have, Joseph?
Well, I'm seeing that, it's the same as yours, but I'm also seeing, in addition to that, that some of her choices for the partners in this, I don't know if you're going to be working alone on this or not, but I'm saying, what I am seeing is that you probably should, or you need to look at who you're working with on this, if they do have a part in this, because I'm seeing that in the past you had there was a young man that maybe kind of quiet, shy, maybe self-involved, but also had he was with you on your ideas, but just not very reliable, and he's an okay person, but it's just not a very deep thing, and I don't really see him being all that conducive to making this a success. I just don't think that that's one of them. And I think that he's in the past, but I do see him here in the background as an influence. And what I am
Maybe
seeing
not
is that
supportive.
there's disappointments. There's disappointments in these people that actually are not useful to this, what you want to do with this particular thing. And I'm thinking that maybe you should probably consider reevaluating who you're choosing to help you with this.
Zoe, do you have a website that we can advertise for you here? Do you have a website you want to say?
I'm thinking you're doing the same thing later on with another guy.
Okay.
And these guys are not useful in this particular thing. And I do see another guy coming up in he's in the future. He's another one that kind of isn't strong and magnetic. He's another one that's kind of that you're kind of going to have to carry. And I think you got to stop doing this sort of thing with these. Really choose the people that you work with really well. Okay, and I just don't see the current ones. I think you need to. There's someone coming. There was someone in the past that isn't involved anymore, if they were, and I mean I'm seeing that there's another guy coming down the pike that might have a few good ideas, but I wouldn't let him pin his. It's like it almost seems like people want to pin their star onto your wagon here. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. It's like you have a good idea, other people are like, oh, I can cash in on this. Those are kind of the people you kind of got to avoid because, like Anne Marie said, it's not a very profitable thing anyway. I mean, it takes a lot of work, to really get that going.
Well, what kind of jewelry do you make, Zoe?
Try to meet. Actually, I'm thinking you might be better off meeting somebody's more similar to you. Possibly even another woman. You know what I mean? Rather than some of these people that I'm seeing coming down here. This other guy, I don't know. It seems like you left yourself open to these people that you end up kind of having to help a little too much, or that they're not as helpful as they're not putting in as much as you do. It's like it's all on you.
That could also indicate maybe stores or fairs or whatever that are sponsored by other people.
Yeah.
But Zoe, what kind of jewelry do you make?
I make different things. I do mala beads and like different kind of bracelets and necklaces.
Wow.
Well, it's Christmas time. I would just look for places that are having Christmas fairs, and fairs have always been very lucrative for me. If I was trying to sell business like Renaissance fairs and things, because then you have a live audience and they can see the beauty of it, whereas taking photographs of it isn't always as complimentary as being in person.
Right. Okay, that's
great.
That's so helpful.
Do you know guys like this? I mean, I just don't know where they're coming from.
I can't think of who it is in my past. Like, there was a woman in my past that the business didn't work out for. That sounds like what you're describing.
Alpha women can come out like men. Alpha women.
Yeah, that's
can
true.
look
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. Actually, she came out as like a young man here, a page of pentacles. Actually, it's another. It could be another one because there's another young page of wands. And it has to do with someone who's not a good worker. I mean, they might be a nice person, and all that.
Right.
And it's like they might have bits and pieces of them that are good, but you really have to work at it to get anything out of them.
So I guess what that means to me, Joseph, what that can mean to me as well is watch out for what craft store or what craft place that you are putting your stuff in. You want a good display. You don't want one of those shops where they stick your display in some back corner and then you get no recognition.
Yeah, or if they take
you want to
like 70% of your profit. You don't want that
yeah. You want to have that. That's why fairs, I think, are so wonderful. Christmas fairs right now are everywhere. You've got about 2 months where you could get more profit from a Christmas fair than you could at Etsy right now.
Right. Okay. That's so helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zoe. Take care and good luck on that. Zoe,
Zoe, yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Go to
I like
Jenny,
that.
who's in the call room. And Jenny, hello from California. How are you?
Hi, Jenny.
Yeah, hi, Joseph. Hi, Anne-Marie. I don't know if you just wanted to do a general reading. Hi, can you hear me?
General?
We can.
Okay, great. A general reading or my job, my career, for 2018. I'll be 75, but I enjoy working, and I'm a realtor.
All right.
Will it still be
That's a great job.
lucrative?
Yeah.
Okay. Joseph, I'm going to do a quickie, and then I'll let you take over.
Okay.
What I have for your greatest fulfillment for 2018, and this is kind of a combination career and spirit reading. It says you've got a lot of great friends that love you, and you seem to have a lot of people that want to back you. I'm not saying necessarily financially, but give you good reviews, good credentials. The only person that I see that's hard to convince of this is you. That for some reason there's a sense that you've had some bangs and some whallops that have kind of made you a little tense, and they've kind of brought your self-esteem down. So it says, most of all, try to get your self-esteem back. And if you find that you're in a quiet time, whatever you do, Jenny, don't worry about it, because things are going to pick up after 2018, about the second month of 2018. So expect that in December, January, and February, you may see a slowdown, but it will pick up again. And I'm going to say there's a lot of people that are going to support you, friends that are love you, and your ambition level will pick up again in 2018. Okay?
Oh, terrific.
Well,
what do you have, Joseph?
I do see that in her past, and I could say recent past, but I'd say if it's not the recent past, it is still an influence. I do see that there was a parting of the ways, perhaps, or maybe someone who's not in her life anymore. But it was somebody that didn't really, kind of felt the world owed them a living and didn't really participate. It's like, I would say that didn't really, it seems like you were hooked up to somebody who wasn't working as hard as you were, or didn't have a great job, or maybe had worse luck than you. But that person's not there. I don't see them being a part of I don't really see them being part of the present day. But I do see that you're being encouraged here at the present time to stretch your imagination a bit more and to try to think outside the box. And I hate saying that phrase. But I think you're being encouraged to be creative because there is a solution to a problem that you're not looking at right now. There are some problems that you're not paying attention to, or maybe you're kind of hoping will just go away on their own, But these are not those. And so you have to face a few things. I do see that. And I do see, we all do. And I do see that maybe you might feel like you're kind of in a rut, and maybe that you're not really moving forward. You will get through that. And I will say you are encouraged to use your imagination, because I do see that in the near future, I do see that you are going to do very well in your work. I do see that you're going to actually almost you're like a risk taker, and I see you being like an overachiever. And I just see that you are like the magician, and that card has come up here, and that's the card I have in my hand now, is that I do see that your determination, and you have a strength, and your personality, you always will overcome, and I see you overcoming any of the current problems that you're having. You just cannot forget that you are capable of amazing things. You have a personal power about you, and every now and then you forget it because you get beaten up or something by something. We all get that way. We just get really crushed. We don't see it. But actually, you have it. And so if there's any problems that you're having, you're going to work them out, and you are, because you're smart and you have these wonderful powers of concentration, and you just make it work out. And I do see you doing well, in the very
terrific.
Near future.
And you're right. Yeah. I have a lot of confidence. I'm really good at what I do. So why sometimes do I get this feeling that of insecurity
in my job? Yourself. Yeah. And actually, you have this strength to push through this. So, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, but you're right.
And if you're stagnating, you just need some creative stimulation too. That helps, know, to get outside yourself a little bit, you know. Yeah.
Good. So far, so good. Because I was just hoping my age wouldn't work against me, you know, because you're 75 and people might want younger realtors.
I stopped thinking about my age. Of course, I am younger, but I'm 57, and I have a lousy concept of time, and I decided I was going to act like a 5-year-old juvenile delinquent, and it seems to be keeping me younger. So we can't worry about those things. That's not an issue. That's just a calendar date anyway. And we shouldn't even, Shirley MacLaine said that her mistake was paying attention to the calendar date because that's what she feels that otherwise that's our power to stay young. It's like if we could just ignore those calendar dates, we probably wouldn't age. I wouldn't worry
I wish that were true. Yeah, I wish that were true. I have a lot of energy, so hopefully that overcomes my age. All right, thank you, Joseph and Anne-Marie. I really appreciate your help. Thank you, Derek. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're welcome. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Is everybody still there? It's very quiet. What happened?
Yeah, Joseph?
Hello?
Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear. I can hear you. I can't hear anybody else.
Has a microphone issue. She's live on video, but we're not getting any audio at all, so she texted me.
Oh, dear. I can barely hear you now. You're fuzzing away.
She texted me for you to take the next reading, but unfortunately that lady just hung up. So I don't know. I'll see if I can get Anne-Marie fixed and
all right.
Maybe just do a daily reading or something.
Wow, it got really fuzzy, that's for sure. Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, Joe, you're still on.
Okay, I'm here.
Anne-Marie.
I can barely hear you. It's like you're...
Joe, we lost Anne-Marie. Can you just do
a
reading of the
day? Are
day?
we still on the air? How much time do we got left? We have 15 minutes. Okay, well, I think I'll pull a card of the day.
Hey, Joe, can you hear me?
Oh, there we are. There she's back. Okay. What happened there?
I'm back.
I'm back. You all went at the same time. I thought you went off with Jenny.
I'm not sure if... did you want to finish your reading or something? Because I'm going to go to Rebecca.
Oh, no, I didn't. I was just... I thought for a second... Bill told me that you were gone, and I thought, well, I got to do something to fill in the gap here. But now that you're back, I'm not
okay,
worried
the gap
about
is
that.
Filled. And we've got a...
we have somebody else?
Let me see it. I'm going to see if... Nope, Sandy took off. She was in the phone room, but we have Rebecca, and she wants a reading, but we have 8 minutes, so they have to be flash readings. So 3 card readings, and don't expand too much.
All right.
So Rebecca from Oklahoma.
Rebecca.
3 card reading.
All right.
Shall I go and then you finish?
Go ahead.
So here's what I have. Rebecca, it says, in the past, you always were a firm believer that you wanted to go with the flow. You wanted to see where things took. You had trust that life would take you where you want it to be. But lately, you've been having a stupid attack. And the reading it's saying is that it's not that you have a stupid attack. It's just that sometimes when you go with the flow, you also have to have common sense. So Rebecca, it says, do not go against what your gut is telling you about connecting with someone or doing something that is in your life today that may just be something that is the wrong thing to do, and you're feeling it, but you're going, what the heck? I believe in going with the flow. It says, take your bitch pill. Detach from someone that is perhaps not feeling right or something that is not giving you the return that you wanted. It's okay to be a bitch sometimes. Or I shouldn't say bitch. When I say bitch, Bill, I mean it's okay sometimes to not be nice or not let someone get close if it's not working out. Going with the flow is good, but sometimes you have to have boundaries. Honor your boundaries, Rebecca. What do you have, Joe?
Oh, the same, and I'm going to say change your equation. Change that number in your equation, my dear, because all these guys that I see you picking, even in the past, the present, and now, I see these guys are all like, you need to change. You apparently are attracted to a certain type, okay? I would say try to expand your window a bit more, because I am seeing that none of these guys that you're picking, I'm seeing someone in the past who just was sort of a pessimistic person, who just wasn't helpful at all, and was always sort of difficult. He was a quitter, and he thought everyone else should be. And I am seeing that currently there's a guy here that's kind of stubborn and argumentative, and he's not helpful. And I do see that, and even down the line, I see you picking another one. It's like you're picking the same guy over and over again. Stop doing that.
Carbon copies.
Expand your window.
Copies.
Expand your window. Back up and expand your window, and try to date more out of your circle, out of your usual things. Really, try to do that. You might find something really nice, and you can change everything by doing that. Okay.
Okay. So we have Lena from Tennessee. Yep, that sounds like a winner. Lena from Tennessee says, hey guys, I am eyeing a house for sale. Do you see a move for me in the future? Thank you so much.
Oh,
so let's give her a yes or no 3-card reading. We
Cool.
got 4 minutes and 43 seconds. And I look at that and I have Lena, if I look at, you're eyeing a house for sale. Do you see a move for me in the future? Honey, I do, but it's not right away. And I would say give it about a couple of months. If you aren't able to buy the house, understand that there is another option open for you. And I see that more in January. So February. December and January are not seen as having a new house for you. However, in February, March, April, May, all great months for a new house, but not right now. What do you have, Joe?
Yeah, I have this. Okay, I am seeing. Yeah, it's upside down chariot. You're not moving into this house, but consider this. The cards are all pointing to this. This is a test run. I do see you getting what you want in the near future, around February or so. Things are opening up, and it is represented by the star, and as the insight and hope in dreams for the future come true for you, but not now.
Great. Diana from New York says, I just started a job a few months ago. Do you see growth for me there? I work as a teller in a financial bank. Diane from New York started a job. I'm going to do a quickie. And if I look at, is there growth for you in this job, Diana? I said, absolutely, Diana. It says you've hit a jackpot. And the feeling is that you should believe in what you see and what you are doing. Show confidence. My feeling is that you will flow right into that growth that you want. Remember, have a positive attitude, believe in yourself, and growth is inevitable. What do you have, Joseph?
I got the same thing here. I've seen in the past that she might have had some of money that might have led to some arguments and stuff. But I do see things working out. I do see things working out with this job very well. Yeah.
Sounds great. And Joseph, do you want to say your prayer to close?
Certainly, I would like to.
We have 2 minutes.
Okay. Taking a deep breath and exhale. And I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. Protect me with your white light and help me to do well and to make good decisions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for
That's
having
a great
me back
prayer.
today. I'm sorry I wasn't visual
Absolutely,
today.
and
I have to work this problem out,
well,
yeah. Okay, we'll take care of it.
And I do want to say that if you want to contact me for a private reading after the show or anytime during the week or the coming holidays, to thecallingoflight.com. My appointment readings are minutes, a half hour for 60. Joseph and I also both read for, and you can find me at Best Psychics Directory. So, Joseph, you have a page, right? At
I'm on Keen.com as the Lantern Bearer. And I could be found on, if you just want to have fun and chat and whatever, I could be found on Facebook. I have a page called Joseph the Lantern Bearer, Tarot and Paranormal Insights, so people can share stories and make comments and all sorts of things they want to share with other people.
Okay, we
yeah,
gotta go,
so this
Joseph.
is a nice page.
So,
bye-bye. Okay, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com.